always moving around. But as long as I'm on the same page as you're on, no point in slowing it down. 'Cause anywhere I'm going, if you're the one I'm holding, I could be anywhere. As long as you're beside me, tied into a right, I could be anywhere. I just need you there. I need you there. I need you there.
Good morning, you guys. Look where I am. Look at this view. You guys, were in Hawaii. Like, I can't. This is the, okay. I've just come out of our room. This is the first time that I'm seeing the view like in the daytime, because when we arrived last night it was already completely dark, so we didn't see anything on the drive over, and now that I'm looking at it, it does not look real. So this is the floor that we're on. We're on the 9th floor, which I think this is the highest floor in this specific wing, and this is the view from when we leave our room. I'm like kind of in shock. I can't believe that we're actually in Hawaii. Hawaii. It's almost 9 o'clock. We got back at 11 something last night, and we were so tired and so jet lagged because we've been traveling for like 24 hours, I think. So we had an hour flight from Munich to Frankfurt, and then we had an hour's wait, and then from Frankfurt to Seattle was like the big long flight that we had, which was I think 10-11 hours, something like that. And then in Seattle we had a layover of about 4 hours. And then from Seattle, the flight to Maui was 5.5 hours, I think, but that flight was also delayed. So yeah, when we got in Maui, we were just bone tired and went straight to sleep. But because of the time difference and the jet lag, I kind of woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, tried to get back to sleep, and now it's finally almost 9 o'clock and I've gotten ready for the day. I am ready to like explore, have breakfast. My boyfriend is still sleeping, so I'm just gonna go downstairs and read a bit. I got this book ages and ages ago and I still haven't started it. So I'm gonna just go downstairs and chill and get a start on that, and we'll wait until he wakes up and then we'll see what we get up to today. There isn't like a huge itinerary planned. There's a welcome dinner this evening, but as far as breakfast, lunch, and the rest of the day goes, we're free to do whatever we want. I have no idea how public transportation on Maui works. I think I did see that there's a bus that kind of goes around, but I don't know what the bus system is or if we have to get a taxi or whatever, so I'll just ask the lobby a couple of questions as well when we get downstairs, and then we'll start exploring. Okay, I've gone for a little wander around the property and it's freaking huge. Like, I just keep getting lost because there's so many different wings and areas and places to go. And I was looking at the shops as well, and they have some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dresses. And I was looking at them and I was just like, no, don't even look at the price. There's so much to see here. You can see the resort behind me. But honestly, the only thing that I want to do right now, like even though I'm really hungry, I just want to go down to the beach and stick my feet in the sand. And we've made it to the beach. So let's go. I'm trying to find my way back to the room, and I cannot. I keep getting stuck at the spa, and one of the two, like, because I think there are 4 or 5 wings at the hotel, and I'm trying to make it back to the wing that my room is in, and I keep ending up at the spa, and I can't figure out how to like make it past that place so I can get to like the more back area. I don't know. So I've gone back to the pool, so I'm gonna try to go around and attempt this again. Good morning, day 2 in Hawaii. Today we're gonna go on a little excursion. I'm gonna go surfing today. Got all my stuff, just had breakfast, so we're gonna go downstairs and meet the rest of the group now.
Ang nasabing form ay dapat sagutan pagdating sa o bago umalis ng mga palibhas.
Which found the fancy form.
So our first stop was a hostel in Boracay. My parents and I actually lived there for about a year, around 1998. Back then, it was already growing steadily as a tourist destination, but now it's really next level. There are a ton of hostels and hotels in Boracay. We stayed at the one called Friends Resort and Hostel Boracay, which is on Station 1. So the island is divided up into the following areas. Stations 1, 2, and 3. Bulabog Beach, Manok Manok, which is where you arrive by ferry from the mainland, Diniwid, and Yapak. The island itself is really small. It's only around 10.32 square kilometers, and you can walk the length of the entire island in just about 2 hours. And in the main area of the island, going from one side to the other takes less than 15 minutes. This island is also insanely crowded. Just looking at Flight Radar 24, you can see that there are 35 flights scheduled to arrive in Boracay in one day. And obviously, since Boracay does not have an international airport, these are all domestic flights. There are some from Cebu, Angeles, and El Nido, but the vast majority of flights are coming from Manila. And because it blew up as such a tourist destination in the late 2000s and early middle 2010s, it was closed for 6 months in 2018 so that they could do major renovation on the island. There's also some interesting history about the Banay Bukidnon and Ati people who originally inhabited Boracay. Read up on that as well if it's an interesting subject for you. Overall, it is a beautiful place, but it has been damaged by over-tourism and has changed a lot since we were last there in 1998. And next stop is El Nido. We were staying at the Outpost Beach Hotel, which has a location in El Nido as well as Coron. I had never been to El Nido before, and this was such a great place to stay. The hostel itself was really nice. It was definitely touristy, but not in a negative way. It just made it really easy to meet locals as well as other travelers. And there were always different events, games, day tours, trips, and other activities being organized by the hostel. Because of our location, which was literally right on the shore, during low tide, you could easily walk out of the hostel up the stairs to the inner part of the island, but during high tide, the water would come up to about knee level and you would either have to do some wading or some waiting. Overall, I really enjoyed our time in El Nido. I would absolutely go back there. We did do one island hopping day trip from El Nido, and even though we were there during shoulder season, I believe, it was still quite crowded, and that is something to bear in mind if you really value the sense of having an area to yourself as a tourist. It is very popular and for good reason, but it can definitely get crowded. And at one of these stops during our trip, there were a couple of big patches of, I think it was a combination of garbage and leaves and stuff. Because of the movement of the water, it had accumulated into a couple of really big patches and it looked a little bit off-putting. I didn't even go into the water for this specific stop, but overall, the people that we met were fantastic, great time there, and I would definitely return to El Nido during my next trip to the Philippines. Our last day in El Nido now. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, we're going to get the tricycle past the airport and head to our boat tour because we're doing a 3-night, 4-day boat tour from El Nido to Coron. So this is the last day with this view, last day at this hostel, last day with these people. It's been really, really nice. El Nido, 10 out of 10 place to visit. We had to break our 1,000 peso note and I just thought it looked so cool. The front side of the note has the Philippine eagle on it, and the back side has a design of the Tubataha Reefs, which is a protected area of the Philippines located in the Sulu Sea. Going to a place called Cagdanao Beach. We played some volleyball with some other tourists as well, had some snacks. This banana queue was really, really good. Easily one of my favorite Filipino desserts as well.
You know what's the name of our boat?
I know, Katrina Victoria? Or I know? Good name. Oh yeah, because this is Katrina Alexandra number 3.
Really good.
You guys, I'm on the beach, I'm having my banana Q snack. And this dog won't stop looking at me. And then we headed to our first base camp, which was in New Balinben. There, we had a fantastic dinner, just relaxed, had some drinks, and played some Connect 4. These guys actually whooped our asses at Connect 4. Okay, you can't see because it's pitch black, but I'm lying in our tent, and it's almost 10. I'm about to go to sleep, and there's just a fan that's going. And a nice thin blanket, and I can hear a couple of people talking still by the dinner table area. And it's a funny feeling because my life right now is a little bit up in the air, and I feel like some things are going to change a lot in the next few weeks and months. And I'm a little bit, not worried, but apprehensive about it. But at the same time, right now, where I am, you know, just in the Philippines with a bunch of nice people and exploring some islands and being in the water every day. And I feel like whatever craziness comes my way the next weeks, months, years, whatever, it's gonna be okay because I'll always have myself. This is just the first day of island hopping. We have a couple more days before we get to Coron, and then 2 days there. Then we fly to Manila and then stay there for a couple of days, see a few family members, and then fly back to Germany. The next morning, time to get up and go. Before we left the island, we got, well, I say we got, they got a couple of fresh coconuts directly from the tree, which was so cool to see. Why? Can I touch it? Ay, nako! Wow, why is it so slimy? Ay, sus. Let's go play some basketball. on an island in the Philippines. It's grape time. Our second base camp, the Linapakan tourist camp.
Mixed vegetable with coconut milk.
Mixed vegetable with coconut milk.
And also you're gonna have pork schnitzel.
Pork schnitzel.
And also you have chicken. Sweet and sour fish. So the fish is a grouper. One of the expensive one here in Philippines. And also the last one is Filipino power. Okay, so that's all.
Thank you,
You can
Chef.
start your dinner and enjoy.
Thank you. Good morning. It's what 6:30 looks like right now. Sun's already up. Behind me over there, we're gonna have breakfast on the boat. So I'm quickly having some coffee and everyone's getting ready, brushing their teeth. And then we're gonna head back out to the boat and start having breakfast, start the rest of our day. I'm just gonna swim directly out to the boat when I'm done with my coffee. Maganda talaga. Our third and last base camp, which was at a place called Banana Island. We had no idea that this was coming, but they basically put on a fire show, which was insane to watch. They even had a karaoke machine on the island, and we all just had a bunch of drinks and sang karaoke with our guides. This was a lot of fun and such a great way to end the night and to end the trip. It's the morning of the last day of the boat expedition, so we're just gonna have breakfast and then we're going to start our schedule for today. This has been the nicest trip ever, and I'm really gonna miss these people. I feel it. We're heading back to the boat. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning and the sun's already really strong, which is why I'm wearing my shorts on my head. Let's actually get on the boat now. This entire trip was a dream. I have to give a huge shout out to the entire crew that was on our boat. The captain, Henry Brown, the mechanic, Gilbert, the head cook, Janelle, the assistant cook, Noriel, the boat crew, Ven Gasolina, Philip Morris, Joe Virgin, Bitoy Kupal, and our guides, Dan, JM, and Joe. They were all so great, very accommodating, super fun, and it was also such a wonderful thing to see such spirit and playfulness from how other people live. And the lives that these guys have is so different from the regular life that I have or that maybe you have. But to see how they laugh and joke around with each other every single day and also have such a zest for life, it helps you see some aspects of your life with a fresh lens, and that was just a really great experience. And if I went on a boat tour again, I would want to go on the exact same boat tour with the exact same crew if I could. We had one more stop at Atwayan Coral Reef before eventually heading off to the port of Coron. Boat expedition done. 2 nights in Coron, then we go back to Manila. Once we arrived in Coron, we paid an environmental fee before proceeding to the island. Then we took a tricycle to the hostel that we were staying at. This time we were staying at the Hop Hostel in Coron. We did one walk to a viewpoint that just had the most insane view of the island, the sea, and the other islands beyond that, and it had just rained. So there was also a very clear and beautiful rainbow when we got to the top. I will say that I found El Nido to be more enjoyable, so next time I would probably do the boat trip in the other direction and start in Coron and then end in El Nido. Hey guys, what's up? So I am just in the dorm room right now. The dorm is completely empty, so I'm going to take advantage of that fact and give you guys a little update on what's been going on now. We got back from the boat trip yesterday. It just felt like truly living some kind of alternate island vibey lifestyle that I normally never experience, and it was just really, really different, and it was a great time. I would recommend it to absolutely anyone and everyone. Now we are in Coron. My boyfriend's gone out for the day. He wanted to do some kind of mountain walk around the city and kind of see what there was while we were here for the one day. Personally, I was just feeling so tired from the travel that we've been doing the last 2 weeks and everything, and I just wanted a full day to stay at the hostel, reset, do all of my laundry, which you can see hanging up here and everything, and kind of just pack, watch some YouTube videos, decompress, relax, because everything's been kind of go / living out of a bag for the last weeks. We are here in Coron for one more day. Tomorrow, super early in the morning, we're going to be flying to Manila. Our flight is at 8 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to need to get up around 5 o'clock. When we get to Manila tomorrow, we're going to meet up with my mom. We're only there Saturday and all of Sunday because then Monday morning we're flying back to Munich. And the plan while we're in Manila, Saturday night, we're going to have dinner with a few family members of mine that I haven't seen in a really, really long time. My mom called me the other day to tell me that 21 people are gonna be coming. I think that's just the way it is with Filipino families. Like, families tend to be big. You have a lot of aunties, uncles, cousins. They're all family members that I haven't seen in years, so I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, before I forget, because I wanted to show you guys a couple of things that I got in the last few days and weeks. First thing that I wanted to show you was these earrings, which I think are so cute. They're from this brand called Boho Manila. I actually read about this brand on the In-Flight Entertainment magazine while we were flying from Boracay to El Nido, and they're really, really pretty. They're so beautiful and kind of nicely detailed. Some of the other ones are so extra. I don't have anything remotely like this, and I thought it would just be such a cool souvenir of my time here, you know, something Filipino. And it also kind of reminds me of like a ray of sun, which is, I think, pretty popular in Filipino design. The second thing that I wanted to show you guys was this ring that I bought from the same store, which is like a mantis ray. It's sterling silver, and I know nobody can see this, but my favorite part about this is the detail that you have on the inside of the ring. You can see that they've already also done like the little grooves on the underside of the ring, you know, like the little spine thing and the little face of the manta ray, because nobody sees the inside of this ring, you know, when I'm wearing it. Like, nobody ever sees it, but they decided to add it anyway, and I thought that was just such a nice touch for this ring as well, so I got that. This necklace, this was the sweetest thing. We got this, every single guest on the boat expedition from El Nido to Coron, every single guest was given one of these, and it was made by one of the crew on the boat. And this was just the cutest thing. So all the shells were different. I wish I had taken a photo because some of them were like a spikier shell which had like a bunch of dots on it and stuff. Really sweet. The last thing I got is all of these little bites from sea lice while we went snorkeling. You can't see it that well, but basically I am absolutely covered in sea lice bites and mosquito bites. I've just been zapping myself nonstop for the last few days with my little heaty hottie bite itch go away thing. Unfortunately, it's not as effective on sea lice bites as it is on mosquito bites, but it's still been such a help. So that was the last thing that I got in the last few days. I'm going to recommend this again to anybody who's traveling to a tropical country where you know that there are going to be mosquitoes. Really think about getting this. And I mentioned this in one of my previous videos where I also said if you're going somewhere where you know there's going to be mosquitoes, because you put it on the mosquito bite and you press this button and then it heats up and basically neutralizes the enzyme from the mosquito bite that causes the itching, and it just makes the itching go away, and it's so amazing. And I got a couple of comments saying like, oh, you know, you don't really need that, just use hot water or you can just heat up a spoon, there's no reason for a separate device, which is true. You could totally use a hot spoon, but for me, like, what if you're going on a hike? What if you're somewhere that doesn't have a way to heat up a spoon, where you're just gonna like carry a spoon around with you all the time in the hope that if you get a mosquito bite, you're going to have access to some hot water or some other heat source that you can heat it up to the exact right temperature? Like, no. It costs like 20-25 bucks, something like that. Maybe you can get it cheaper other places, but that's how much I paid for this on Amazon. I will leave the name of this product down below in the description. No affiliate link. I don't want you guys to think that I am only talking about this because I want affiliate commissions. I'm just going to leave the name of this product in the description. I've gone completely off topic now. I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions about the expedition, the trip in general, I don't know, like logistics, getting from one island to another, any questions at all, please drop them in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer them. I hope that this has helped you in some way, or that I can still help you in some way. If there's anything that you want to see future videos be about, also leave those in the comments, because I am always super happy to receive ideas. What do you want to see? What can I show you? And that is pretty much it for now. Thank you again for giving me your time. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
A few moments later.
Okay, surprise. Our flight from Coron to Manila was canceled on account of bad weather. They didn't announce it on the speaker or anything. It only came through via email. And unfortunately, we learned about it a little bit too late because we both ran out of data, and there's no Wi-Fi at this airport either. I only found out about it because two other guys who were supposed to be on the same flight with us were sitting nearby, and they told me about it, and they were able to get tickets on the next direct flight. But by the time I got back to the check-in counter and talked to an agent, that next flight was is already fully booked. So it's looking like we're going to have to wait another 2 hours here, fly to Cebu, which is in the complete opposite direction of where we want to go. Wait in Cebu for 8 hours and then fly from Cebu to Manila around midnight and arrive in Manila around 2 o'clock in the morning. Kind of a bummer because my mom is in Manila right now. She was supposed to pick us up and she organized family dinner for us to catch up with family members that I haven't seen. So it's looking like we're gonna have to do that. We were supposed to have dinner with 21 of my aunts and uncles and cousins that I haven't seen in years and years and years. Some of them in like over 10 years since I've seen them last. But of course, if we arrive at 2 o'clock in the morning, we're not gonna be able to do that dinner. So that's like the most annoying part. You know, if we didn't have this dinner plan, it would be inconvenient, but okay, whatever. But it's just that I know that 21 people were going to take the time out of their day to come all the way to Manila because not all of them live very centrally. So they were going to take this time out of their day or their evening, come all the way to the city so that we could all have dinner and catch up. And now, you know, on short notice because of the weather, I won't be able to do that. And the whole thing is just like really frustrating. And I know that it's no individual person's fault, but the whole situation, there's no single person that I'd be like, oh, this is their fault or this is my fault, or it was a bunch of little things. If I had data or if my partner had data that we were keeping on, or if the airport had Wi-Fi, or if they had announced it over the speaker, or. But, you know, there's no sense kind of stressing over that now. Like, there's nothing that can be done anymore, so I'm just trying not to get too upset about it. As things are now, we're just gonna have to wait at the airport a little bit longer before our flight to Cebu. So we're sitting at a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf in Cebu airport. We've been here for 4 hours now. We talked to a bunch of desk agents to try and get on any kind of earlier flight. So we're flying with Cebu Pacific, and the flight that they put us on when they, you know, changed our schedule because of our canceled flight was arriving in Cebu at 2 something and then flying from Cebu to Manila at almost midnight. Around 8 hours waiting in Cebu airport. We thought about doing other stuff, but we have a lot of luggage with us, and we wanted to try to get on an earlier flight. So we talked to a couple of gate agents to see if we could get like a chance seat and basically be on standby, like if somebody doesn't check in for an earlier flight, if we could get on that flight. They said that we could come check back in, but like the earliest flight that we could chance was the 8:30 p.m. flight. So it's 7:45 now. My boyfriend's gone to the check-in desk to see if maybe someone hasn't checked in. Maybe there was a no-show and we would be able to get on this 8:30 flight instead of the 11:51, which would be really, really great because that would save us 3 hours. We also tried going to a different airline to see if they had any earlier flights, and they did. They had 2 seats left on a flight from Philippine Airlines, which was also going to go at 8:30, but you know, it wouldn't have been a chance seat. We would have had to buy those tickets new, and it would have cost us 200 euros per person. We decided to just wait and chance it. Hopefully something on this flight is free so that we could save that time. If not, it's another 3 hours. I'm not upset now, I'm just like resigned because it's been kind of a long day, and you know, it's definitely not the worst case scenario. The good thing is that it is Saturday and we're flying on Monday. Like if we had had a connecting flight, you know, back to Germany today, that would have been really, really bad. Oh, I think we're going. We finally made it to Manila. So one of the things that if you have ever been to Manila, you have probably experienced Metro Manila traffic. There is literally an entire Wikipedia article that is just about Metro Manila traffic. Apparently, it's the worst traffic in Southeast Asia. A lot of people do have their own private vehicles, but many people travel with public transportation, such as the MRT or the LRT. But what you probably see a lot of and know Manila for is the jeepneys. Jeepneys actually started from the American colonial period period because we had share taxis which were known as autocaselas, and it was shortened to ACs. These evolved over time to imported cars that had attached carriages in the 1930s, and these were a means of cheap passenger transport in Manila. These vehicles were mostly destroyed in the Second World War, and they needed to replace these destroyed vehicles for their transport. So what they decided to use was the US military jeeps which were left over from the war, and these became kind of a jumping off point and template for what we now know as the modern jeepney. Jeepneys are the most popular method of public transportation in the Philippines. The seats are crowded, it's a cultural icon, and it has its own art known as jeepney art, and it's in a way a national symbol for Filipinos, with around 9 million commuters taking the jeepney every single day.